What if I told you can get this amazing viewing experience at 120 inches plus for just $300 using the Vankyo V630W and the Vankyo Projector Screen? These two work together to give you an amazing viewing experience on a budget. But first, the unboxing. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's talk about the screen. First, these clips that come in the package, they're great. What sucks is the adhesive. The adhesive is not close to being strong enough to mount the screen with any stretch, and they'll pop off the wall either during the installation or a few days later. They're crap and I don't recommend using them. I recommend using hot glue where the adhesive goes on the clips, as it'll stick to the wall much better and they won't pop off a couple days later. The adhesive install is also really annoying. You have to take two pieces of paper off each side, one for the wall and the other for the clip itself. Once again, I don't recommend using these, and if I did the install again, I would go straight for the hot glue mounting option. It's better and much stronger. Hot glue has the same benefits of the adhesive, and it won't damage your wall when you're removing the clips. Yeah, so as you can see here, like the clips are kind of not really on there, and then I kind of have one where it's like hot glued, and then I had to use a thumbtack, and like there was a bunch of different things, and I still didn't get the corners exactly perfect. The screen itself is great, and it doesn't show any folds or creases once you actually stretch it out. When you're doing this yourself, I'd recommend going corner first and then slowly stretching out instead of all fours. I tried that at first, and the screen needed to be stretched a lot more. The color is slightly more dull and spread out as opposed to what I had before, which was just some wrapping paper flipped the other way. The color spread where on the wrapping paper it was a super shiny finish, and it looked different depending on where you looked at it from. I've been showing the screen with the projector and ambient to full light situations. With ambient light, the details are still pretty visible and you could get away with watching a TV show, maybe even playing a couple games. Full lighting is a lot harder to make things out, but my full lighting situation had a very bright lamp pointing right at the screen. It's not perfectly visible, but you can still make out some of the details and you could watch a cartoon or something like that on this. However, as soon as you get in a perfectly dark room, the color and details immediately begin to come out and pop. The screen does a very nice job at diffusing the projection and showing it on a almost perfectly flat surface. I don't think this projector exactly brightens the image. And if it does, it's very little. It can help you get much better color accuracy out of your projector, especially if you have a beige wall like mine. Now we're going to do a little sound test of the projector itself. The speakers on the projector itself are still very good for what they are, and they could easily fill an entire room. Obviously, they don't compete with the likes of a $500 surround sound setup, but they're still very good. Here you can see the brightness diffusion I was talking about, where the colors all seem to flow together very well and don't have any spotlighting or anything like that. Text is still very nice and clear, which that's mostly the projector, but the screen could also be playing a role in that. So here we're taking a look at the controller again. It's fairly decent. It has a mute switch, power button, forward back for media, and yeah, it's just a controller. So here we're going through the options for the projector itself. We have the picture mode, which I would recommend just staying in standard. All the rest kind of wash out the colors. Here we have the aspect ratio, which you can change to a whole bunch of different things. I keep mine at 16:9, but there's like just scan, there's panorama, point to point, or 4:9 I think, or 4:3, auto. There's zoom, all kinds of stuff. So yeah. And then next we have the noise reduction, which I keep it on middle. I don't really notice anything. Then we can change where our projector is actually sitting. So if you have it on the roof, if you have it on a desk, whatever. And then next you can change the display size, which is for projector screen. So like if like me, you know, the screen's like much bigger, it's not really fitting on the thing exactly, you can change that to, you know, 50%, 60%. I might use it. The only thing is, like, outside of actual content it doesn't do anything, and then whenever you get into the content it changes the size. So I don't really think I kind of just like to keep it the way that it is at 100%. It's fine for me. Here I put it on 50, but normally 100. And then here you have your sound settings, which I just keep that on standard as well, because the rest kind of messes with the speakers and the sounds washed out. And yeah, that's basically everything. There's other stuff, but yeah. Next is going to be an ambient sound test of just the projector itself. Here I'm showing off the screen I was using before, which was actually just 2 sheets of wrapping paper with some tape going down the middle. This worked and was a decent solution, but as I've said, parts of it were more shiny than the rest, and the tape going down the middle I would always see no matter what I was watching on it. It was very reflective, so that was something kind of nice. One thing that may be changing the results of the wrapping paper screen is that it was actually closer to the projector than the Vankyo screen was, so that may be making the image seem a little bit more brighter than the other one. Overall, $300 for a 120-inch screen is an amazing deal. Movies are a joy to watch on here, and playing games with friends is amazing. One of the best things about this combo is you have so many options with the way the screen is made. You could easily fold it, make it smaller if you needed to, and use nails to mount it, but that's something that you would have to decide if you wanted to do. The projector and the screen quality almost always surprises everyone that sees it, and they always tell me how sharp the picture is. Of course, it's not a 4K projector and the colors aren't perfect, but it's very good in its price category. You can easily enjoy the projector for the next year or two to come without even thinking about getting a new projector. The screen is great and only costs $30. You don't actually need it, and you can use some wrapping paper, tape, and thumbtacks to make a DIY screen for about $10, but to me the extra $20 for the Vankyo screen was easily worth it. I would say if you can help getting the screen, then I'd recommend getting the screen as opposed to spending the $10 and making your own screen. As I said, the mounting clip's adhesive sucks, so you might want to use hot glue. It'll help you set up the projector screen itself much faster. You could use nails, but for something like this I wouldn't recommend nails. You could use nails, but for something like this I wouldn't recommend nails, because you could end up wanting to do something different very early and you just have a bunch of holes in your wall for nothing. Don't worry about the screen being folded in the box, and you don't need to iron or dry the screen at all. All you have to do is get a very good mounting stretch on it, and all the creases will come out on their own, which is great. You could easily set this up in 10 minutes and be watching a movie in 11. I definitely recommend this projector and projector screen combo. It's very nice and unbeatable at this price. Absolutely stunning image and an amazing screen.